Hey guys, what's going on? Getting ready to start here shortly. I have kind of a treat for myself. All these tattoos, of course, are my own treat. Learning how to do this and focusing in on the creative aspect of it has really opened up a lot of horizons for me. I was an art major at one point in time, uh, and actually finished. I was an art school student at one point in time, and had a great opportunity to study all kinds of stuff from from well up in Cincinnati. And yeah, I mean, I got kind of disheartened along the way. Found that for the most part, contemporary art and modern art turned into kind of a cash grab. The more of a price that was put on something, and the more shock that the artist would actually have that it would sell, gave it so much more value. And so, some really important artists of our time have kind of ended up even past the point of their own demise, losing some of their importance and their history and their meaning to just the value of their artwork. Luckily, there are some modern artists that have survived that, maybe not mortally, but through their own works. I say all of this just because I got so beat down by commercial art. I went into graphic design and I got so beat down by commercial art and trying to please people that I literally just stopped doing anything creative. And over the past few days, even with the tattoos and everything like that, that's been a branch into the creative that I've missed out on quite a bit. And I wish that it was something that I knew was, something that I enjoyed doing a long time ago. Um, but my loving wife gave me a hey, what's up? What's going on, Bagwell? Sorry, man, I just saw that. Hey, how you doing, man? So my wife got me my birthday present early. My birthday is next week. Yeah, I'm turning 28 again. But she got me an iPad, a new iPad, and a new pencil. So I think I've drawn more over the past 4 days than I have probably combined in the last 7 or 8 years. So it's really awesome, and that's really opened up a whole lot of different possibilities for the tattoos that I'm designing. I've designed a few. Thank you, I appreciate it. Happy birthday to me, yay! But yeah, um, but yeah, I've got a lot of tattoos that I've designed that there's no way I'm putting on my body. Not because I don't like them, but because there's probably not enough room in my mix. Although there might be. I mean, I still have ribs, chest, stomach area, which I'd probably try to avoid because I don't know how much farther that bad boy is going to grow. Um, so yeah, there's still some spots open for sure. But uh, today I'm focusing on something that I didn't come up with, but it's kind of a treat to myself. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Hopefully, the camera can pick it up. I tried to make sure that at least on some level, it could. So let's see if it does. Oh man, really, it does not. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, it's kind of there. You can kind of see it. Maybe if I blind. It's Skeletor. That's right. Big He-Man fan, going back to the original days. Growth mindset. Yeah. Yes, indeed, indeed. It really is. And I've found it really hard to put down um, the pencil, if you will, and do other things like I don't know schoolwork. But I'm making headway. So after last night's fun debacle with the finger gun and having issues with the machine I was using. I've been having some issues with my power supply where it will, after a while, it'll stop turning on by switch, and I have to turn it off and on like hard boot, and that's not good for the machines, and it's not really good for the power supply. Yeah, I know, man. Like it's difficult being my age and diving into a new passion whenever I'm gonna run out of skin. So I have to make myself legitimate somehow, man, and really work that route if this is something that I want to keep doing. And it is like I love doing it. You know, I mean, it's not like I just love getting it done. I really love doing it. So um, yeah. But anyway, I digress. I found out that I do have like a small short in my cable that's used to connect the machine to the power source. So I did purchase another one. It should be in sometime tomorrow. I'm not tattooing tomorrow. I've got some prior engagements, but hopefully I get a chance to kind of try it out and play with it and make sure that it works okay. Hey, sorry guys, my dog is like sitting in her corner, just licking her foot, and it's like I hate mouth noises. I hate like listening to people chew or slurp, and I really like my dog is like the loudest thing whenever it comes to farting, slurping, chewing on herself. Like she's like everything in a noise that I don't like. So anyway, other than that, great dog. Just kidding, not really. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know why I decided to go ahead and do this uh, design on the same spot, just a different, the opposite leg this time. But that's what I'm working with. We're going to do the same place right above the ankle here, and I guess work forward from that. So we'll see how that pans out. And without further ado, I've also tried to find a way to keep my cord from getting in the way of the camera. The machine itself will, but the cable won't be like flopping down. Hopefully, as I do this. So I did apply the stencil a little while back. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Like right back. Like don't feel like this screen is going to stay up for any amount of time whatsoever. Really, I just have to get my reference piece. There we go. So now I've got my reference piece. And I can see what's supposed to be black and what's supposed to be left white as I work on this. All right, here we are, and we're back. Oh, oh, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Really, honestly, I don't like how this. Whenever I do scene change, it changes out my like it like empties out my chat. That makes me sad. It's like you guys didn't say anything, and that's not true. I know, I know you did. All right, so as opposed to my other machine, this machine's like extremely quiet. I know it's been said several times that um, people couldn't hear my loud machine very well on certain mic settings, and some people liked that, and some people didn't. Um, but yeah, this one's much quieter, and I do prefer it for a lot of things. But I still have a fairly fairly deep love for uh for my original machine, my first machine that I purchased. So, all right. So you guys can probably see that I went ahead and built in here a very healthy um, space for bold outline. Because let's be honest here, I do love myself a nice bold outline, and hopefully you guys do too. Whew, I tell you what, this leg is a lot more painful than the last one. You know what? One thing is that I'm doing this at a really low speed. Let's bump that up, guys. Like, holy crap. Like, why does this feel less like a tattoo and more like a bunch of syringes poking me? Oh, because I've got it basically on my fill settings. It's not what I want. Some people like, I think there's a kind of a personal preference with machine speeds and output. I feel like lining with holy crap, that's like missing a whole whole piece here. Well, let's make it up as we go. Um, but I feel like if I'm doing any kind of lining, especially if I'm using like a needle like this that is actually a shader, um, I will almost always prefer a nice, solid speed. Something that really, digs in and does the job. And I am padding this, even though the stencil is laid in like seriously. This thing is like nice and thick, y'all. But okay, that's there. This is there. Ah, I can't tell. Can't tell unless I'm looking at my reference upside down, like what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. That's nuts. Okay. Well, that makes a little bit more sense then. Okay. Just a simple line. Too easy. I can draw lines all day long. It's like my second favorite thing to do. Oh yeah, guys, this thing is rad already. I feel really good about how awesome this feels. Just knowing that it's actually turning out okay. So he does look elongated. Just so you guys know, my toe is down, my knee is back. So this is not the resting position for this particular tattoo. It's important to say because uh, if I were if I did put it on in this position, then whenever I stood up, it would be oh crap. It would be I gotta do it be right back again. I forgot my second light source. Um but yeah, if it was in a resting position or a flex position whenever I put it on, it would be like out of this world, like warped and crazy. So let's see. Let's turn this thing on. All right. Sorry about that. Man. Whew. Let's get to tattooing and stop playing around. All right. Sorry about that. My second light source is super important. Um, Otherwise, like I'll just get in the way. Like I'll be, constantly in my own shadow, and it's really difficult. Like I don't know how I did it with so many of my tattoos, where I was seriously like tattooing in the shadow. Like I couldn't see what it was that I was supposed to be doing. That's pretty scary. If you think about it. And we're tattooing on the bone. Why not? You know, it just makes sense. We were given bones. Why not tattoo them? Sorry, I almost feel like I'm in rare form this evening. Um, but in all honesty, if I can be honest, no, I can. Um, my wife and my son are out of town. No party at my house. My daughter's still here. But uh, yeah, they're in D.C. enjoying to getting to know our great country a little bit more, um, and really experiencing what for some people is a once in a lifetime opportunity, to get to know our our history and some of the pieces of history that make up our our democracy and all the parts of it. So I'm really excited for him. And that the reason I say that is because I'm probably a lot more talkative. Um, because I'm sad that they're not here. That's okay. It's okay. It's kind of a belated birthday present for my son. I shouldn't say belated, like it was planned and purchased and everything uh, before his actual birthday as his birthday present. But, I mean, school and all that kind of stuff. Trying to go ahead and get in these rather large blocks. um, this is not the best machine for this, and so I don't know why. I do. It's the throw length of the needle is not as long, so it's not really as powerful a machine as my first one, and so it tends to be a little bit more, well, believe it or not, a little bit more traumatizing to my skin. However, I was having issues with it, my other machine last night, and some of the needle cartridges that I have. So rather than start with a machine and have to finish with a different one, I just went ahead and switched over to this one automatically. Even though I know it's going to be a little bit rougher on my skin, um, I know it's still going to be easier on my mindset, I suppose. I just have to make sure that like I do take care of this like immediately. All right, let's see what you got there. So again, I didn't have this other line drawn out, so I'm gonna have to kind of add it in as I go and just try my hardest to make sure that I have it make as much sense as possible. There is a peculiar sound whenever you can hear the needle vibrate on your bone. Now I'm not actually touching my bone because that would violate Twitch's legal agreements about people touching their bone on Twitch. But that being said, um, you can still hear it. So I can hear it. You guys can't hear it because y'all aren't privy to what my bone sounds like. So I just really want to get this part over and done with right here. But my speed of doing it's probably going to make me mess up. So have to be have to be both quick and uh, be expeditious and accurate. spot right there. I just don't even want to, but I have to. Okay, this hurts more than the knee. I don't know why. Yeah, I have to wait until I get my OnlyFans up and running before I start touching the bone. That's for sure. All right. Well, I'm not crying. Whew. Man, that is some rough. That is some roughness. Holy crap! All right, now let's see if we can get this going a little bit. Yeah, sorry. If I do get too quiet, it's probably because one, I'm trying not to scream, and two, uh, I'm trying to concentrate on Skeletor. Wild, I know, but you know, occasionally I'll speak, I'll say something I regret, and then we just move on. Whoa, 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 whoa! So I'm trying to get this outline in here too, um, so that whenever I do any kind of wiping or anything like that, I am not getting rid of my hard-earned work of a template. Because last thing I want to do is try to freehand a well-known character. Um, doesn't doesn't turn out right. I can guarantee you that it would not turn out right. Things get a little hectic right in this area. So, and believe it or not, I have lost some of my stencil to the the wipings. So I'll have to go back and recreate that in some way, shape, or form. Not too distant future. Till then, we complete this little part of the circuit. Whew, whew, whew. Now, sir, you How in the hell did this go? Hmm. This cuts. This will cut right here. This right here. Boy, I hope that's where that line goes. Changing now, my friends. We have made a decision and stuck to it. Okay. What's the most important thing for you when deciding what to put on your skin? How do you decide what drones make the cut? Okay, I am totally the wrong dude to ask for that question. Um, Bro, this will make number 35 or 36 of things that I've put on my body. Um, yeah, I'm pretty terrible. Uh, whenever it, whenever it comes to being, I guess, careful about what it is that I'm doing. Damn it, man. I'm just gonna go there. Mm, here. Um, in all honesty, like I think things they don't have to hold like a lot of deep meaning. Um, in many cases, but I think that I think even that irreverence in and of itself, whenever it comes to tattoos, like if you are, I mean, if that's just the kind of person you are, man, then like you're just gonna have you're just gonna get whatever, and that speaks as much as like a meaningful tattoo. Um, yeah, and then there's that aspect. I mean, I think that even my tattoos that I feel don't tell a story or don't have like a specific meaning are still here for the aesthetic, you know? That makes sense. I mean, putting Skeletor on my leg, bro, like yeah. Yeah, yes. I believe that. I think that, I think that that's a really good way of putting it too. Um, there's a lot of people who who might put more meaning into things than what's necessary even sometimes that I just feel like it's not making a whole lot of sense there, but But there's even like tattoo artists out there that like, these guys can draw anything, anything, you know, and people will go to them for what, because they can draw anything. They'll go to them for like a design that's not, like the most awesomest thing in the whole wide world. Most of the stuff that I do, I'll be honest, it's about the experimentation, trying different styles, trying, different ways of filling and um, different speeds. Just it's all about like the what I learned from it, I guess. Um, as much as it is about art. But that being said, I mean, you bring a well, and here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you saw the tagline, the EverPress tagline of just because it's permanent doesn't mean it's important. Of course, it's important. Of course it is. But there's a certain amount of like, um, there's a certain amount of understanding that I have to have, right? That if I mess something up, I have to be okay with it, and that's not something that I'm good at. And so you know, this whole thing started off as a like a mental health experiment. Um, I wasn't sure with my first tattoo. I put it up really high, and I made a promise to myself that if it just sucked so much, if it just sucked so much, then hey, I've only invested a couple of bucks. I've only invested a little bit of time. I've only invested a little bit. Um, and then like no big deal. I can put it down if I hate it. But you know, not to get like too bummer or whatever, but this was started, and I did decide to stream it specifically for the reason that there might be other people out there who don't know how to cope, and that's something that I'm still learning how to do. And this is one of those things that it's just kind of helping me do that, putting it out there, trying to take the stigma away, blah blah blah. And I don't mean blah 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 like completely irreverent, but like like pretty much. I mean, it's something that everyone talks about, but no one really talks about it. I feel like. So this is me saying, hey, it's okay to do things your own damn way. If you need to learn in a really weird way how to cope, well, this is my weird way. You know, sometimes I have people. I feel like I can talk to them, and sometimes I honestly like I don't want to talk about it. And so this is what I do. Um, but one thing that I found out is that I, with all my other problems that I have, I exhibit some symptoms, not of obsessive compulsive disorder, but an obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which is wildly different. And so sometimes, sometimes, sometimes doing things perfect isn't necessarily, it's not an option. Like that's what you do. And so if I screw this up, um, I have to deal with it. Like I have to throw part of my personality, part of how I cope with the world. I have to just throw that shit right on out, and just deal with mistakes, and not just mistakes, but mistakes that I make. Right? Like that's crazy. Imagine. I don't know. I mean, maybe for other people it's easy. I don't. I don't know. I do know that, like, for me, the idea of having to deal with my own mistakes is terrifying, because in my mind, making a mistake is not it's not an option. Everyone makes mistakes, and I know that logically, right? But I mean, you've been in the room with me whenever things are not going right. You've seen you've seen how I react. Like it's just, it's not, I don't break down and die or whatever, but it's not an option. We're gonna do it right. Ignorance is no excuse. Lack of knowledge is no excuse. Like, the only excuse for doing something wrong is if, like, you're trying to prove a point. That's not logical. Yeah, man, I do too. I don't deal well with making them. He's shaping up. He is shaping up. Man, I love these just really crazy, bold ass tattoos. There's just something about the in your faceness of a bold tattoo. I would probably benefit better, just so you guys know, going back to like tattoo technique. If I was using like a small mag for some of these more wide open spaces, um, be probably a little bit gentler on the skin. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Experts, people that do this for money. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit weird for me. This part makes sense. This comes up here, and then this. Okay, we're making it happen. For surely. Yeah, yeah, man. I appreciate the inspiring aspect, but I mean, if we're completely honest, bro, like, I don't know how much time that I spent, um Trying to find some way of dealing with it, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the kind words. Ow! I'm on the bone again. I'm on the bone again. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it on the bone again. Oh shit! Rough, my dudes. That is so rough. That is painfully rough. I know, man. Like he's looking bad. I know. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I promise. It's, my pro is looking pretty rough though. I'm gonna put in some of these weird little details, and then well, let me give a quick rinse here. See what's left. Oh, so yeah, that's pretty much the resting point. Whenever I'm standing, this is most of what people will see. So yeah, no, that's true. But I'm not doing any coloration tonight, I don't think. So, but that rinse kind of helped me see, like, places where. And, hi, how are you? Um, it helped me see some places where it does need to be filled in. Mostly around like the more painful places. So, in here, down here, along this line, some of the places in here. It's not a big deal. I'm actually going to apply a thin layer of some salve to kind of condition the skin again. Keep it okay, because this is kind of counting as overworking it right now. More supply is working. Part of the problem is that I can't see what I'm doing whenever it drops a huge old glob of ink like that, but the great thing is that I can do a pretty decent color pack in here if I want. I enjoy color packing the Robin Hood. Like I think he turned out pretty good. So I'm definitely happy with that. Now that the outline is in there, I can use a nice cold uh, paper towel kind of in there and do the wiping so it's not nearly as painful. Yeah, sound. So I do have an experiment that's kind of um, tied to this particular design. Uh, Cartoons are so like bold and kind of like an all or nothing whenever it comes to shadow and highlights that I kind of want to add a little bit of shadowing and just see like what that does to a cartoon subject. Like will it hurt the image or help the image? Not overwork that outline too much more. So we'll move back into the inside of this. Starting this eyeball or eye socket, if you will. This eye socket as well. Almost got it. Not quite. Better. Man, I'm making some progress. Comfort. Much uncomfort. Hurt this bad, does it? It's painful. As you guys didn't know, is my whining wasn't coming through loud and clear. Uh, this hurts. This this is happening. Oh yeah, this was great. All right, see how we are. I don't know why I make that noise like almost every time that I spray stuff. Did I just move my screen? Is that no? Okay, cool. Rad. Glorified leaky fan. Feel like a geriatric fan. All right, let me give that just a second. Hi, hi guys. So does it just spit at you? Is that like you want to see like some crazy? I don't even know how it got accepted as a standard. Um, check out what cars did for air conditioning, like back in the 50s before air conditioning was really a thing. Um, Probably good. Check out this bad boy. Look at that. Oh yeah, big old that thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there, I'm kind of into Volkswagens, classic Volkswagens, just a tiny bit. Um, but there used to be these like Volkswagens, air cooled Volkswagens. Just they don't have air conditioning. The air cooled is like it's cooling of the engine as opposed to pumping fluids all through different places to cool an engine. It relies on air being passed through it, but that has nothing to do with how the car is cooled. Like basically you open a vent and air comes in, or you roll down a window and air comes in, and that's all you're getting for air conditioning. But in like the 50s and 60s, uh, they had this thing and it looked like a big bazooka. And so this thing would stick on the window. Yeah, yeah, right. But they had this big bazooka. I mean, it was probably as this pod that's like this big around and about this long. And essentially, what you would do, and then you would roll your window up, and it had this little vent, little square vent about this big, that would point kind of close to your face. So what you did was you took towels and you wet them. So you got these wet towels and you put them inside of this bazooka thing, and there was like some straps to hold them down to keep them from flopping around and everything. But as you drove, it would suck the air in to these like and go over these wet towels and then blow that in your face. And that was air conditioning for a classic Volkswagen Beetle back in the 50s and 60s. Weird. I know. Odd trivia for a tattoo thing, but essentially what I wanted to do is I wanted to switch out to this Magnum, take a little sip of my juice there, and see if this particular cartridge fit this pretty good. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Um, maybe someone just didn't strap down the towels, and then they just went shutunk, shutunk, and just flew backwards. I'm 100% sure that's not where the t-shirt gun came from. But I mean, hey, we can all just have our little fantasies about how things work. Um, love you, man. Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, anyone that's writing in that thing is just getting like spit on. Like that's all it is. So it's kind of funny that your what'd you call it? Your space cooler? Is that did I read that? Yeah, space cooler. All right. What if the t-shirt just like came in and started like that'd be terrible. All right. So I think I'm ready to go through this pain. Yeah, don't make me throw this car in reverse. Everyone's gonna die. I think maybe instead of the t-shirt gun, it's probably where they got waterboarding from. Oh, oh, that's not a joke. That's not a joke. All right, this is going to be interesting. Promise it's going to be more interesting for me than it is for you guys. Um, oh, you know what? I should probably turn this part on so I can be like, hey, did you see what I did there? It was not a good idea. So, so I love playing with the idea of what they call like spit shading. I suck at it, and there's no better way to get better at it than to practice, you know. Um, but I feel like you kind of have to have some understanding of what you're doing before you just dive on in. And I just don't. I just dive right on in. Probably work better if I used a better concentration. So instead of that, I'm just gonna. We'll just add soft shading because I don't feel like using a 100% black concentration uh, to do this correctly. Just a little soft shading instead of doing the spit shading. Why not? Right? I don't want to do this. Yeah. Yeah. I actually don't see a negative putting in a soft shadow. Um, yep. Yep. I'll take it. I think that that's going to be good. That's good. That being said, take a big old glob of stuff and we'll put it on there. And whenever it comes time, I'm going to wrap this up in some plastic. We're just going to let that heal. Sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your attention and your time. As always, thank you guys so much. I love it that you guys showed up. I love it that my wife made an appearance, taking time out of her vacation to chime in and say hi. It's awesome. Um, I appreciate Bagwell and Turkey Noodle for showing up. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Remember, I will not be on here tomorrow. Prior engagements have me just too busy to permanently ink myself. Keep me in mind for all your children's parties, though. And I will see you guys again on Thursday. All right. Good night. Good night, Turkey Noodle.